Okay, we'll get started. We'd like to welcome the 2021 Barbasol Championship winner, Seamus Power. Seamus, what a day. If we can get some comments from you, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible day. Yeah, I mean, I started out knowing I was going to need a low one. To be honest, I didn't think 5 under would be low enough. But yeah, I was able to pick one up on the last, squeeze into a playoff, and then eventually kind of pull through there after, the first hole there was very exciting to get the chip in. Obviously, JT to follow you in. You're trying to tell yourself he's going to make it, but deep down, there's a little bit of you that's already kind of thinking ahead. But yeah, I mean, I was able to just kind of stay patient enough there, and just JT obviously was unfortunate just to make one mistake, and I was able to just take advantage. But yeah, I mean, unbelievable day. I mean, career changing, life changing, all that kind of good stuff. So I mean, it's not going to sink in for a while, but it's an amazing day.
Yeah, huge jump in the FedEx Cup standings, 2-year exemption on the tour. Just comment a little bit on what that means to you and now your new goals going down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'll probably have to take a few days to kind of, figure out some goals. I mean, probably 2 months ago, I mean, just to get into the playoffs, it would have been absolutely over the moon. I mean, I've had a good run of golf, and, but the win is obviously the 2-year exemption. I think someone said I'm in the Players and PGA Championship and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, everything's going to change, at least for the immediate future. So, again, I haven't really let any of that sink in yet. It's just kind of still hitting me that, I'm holding this trophy. So they're all kind of good things I'll have to deal with here soon.
You birdied 2 out of the last 3 holes of regulation, but when you signed your card, you really didn't know where you stood. You really thought you were out of it, right?
I did. I'm not a big leaderboard watcher, so I didn't really know, but I just, at the start of the day, the conditions were perfect today. I thought I might need to get to 23. But, that's golf. There's pressure, there's trouble there in the last few holes, but yeah, I mean, I didn't birdie 15, got a good birdie on 16, then had a horrible lip out for birdie on 17, so I kind of stayed aggressive on 18, was able to get one more, and it proved to be enough to get me in the playoff.
Okay, we'll open it up to questions now. If you'll enter in the chat if you have a question, and we have a couple on site as well.
Obviously, there's a difference between the mental capacity that a golfer holds compared to people who are sitting there watching you. We were all nervous at every single shot that you guys took. Did you have any of that weigh in on you, of maybe that mental collapse that it could happen, or how positive were you mentally?
Yeah, I was actually in a pretty good frame of mind, to be honest. It's my first time in a playoff, didn't really know what to expect, but I've been playing well recently, had a lot of confidence, and then I like that hole. I mean, I just birdied in regulation, so I feel good with my 3-wood in my hand. I knew I was going to have some chances there. So, but you're trying to block out those thoughts as best you can. But they do try to sneak in. But you just kind of have to, you kind of remember some of the things you've learned from some very, very smart people that kind of help you in those situations. And you go from there and do the best you can.
Okay, let's go to Adam Schupak from Golf Week.
Congratulations, Seamus.
Thanks, Adam.
What felt longer, 106 starts or the 6-hole playoff to get this victory?
Yeah, I did. The playoff definitely started to feel long there. Even when it was over, I wasn't actually sure how many holes we'd played, but yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, both of them, obviously. I mean, I haven't really had too many opportunities to win. I've had some maybe good positions after 2 or 3 rounds, or maybe some good last rounds, but it's been better recently. I put myself in a couple of good spots, and it definitely helped me today, where I felt I was a little bit more in control than it would have maybe been 4 or 5 months ago. So it's like a lot of hard work to get to these points, and I was able to just come together at the right time.
What club did you use for the chip in, and did you think of using any other club at that point?
No, I used my 54-degree wedge. It was a good lie, got fortunate. I chip a lot with my 58, but just being a little bit uphill on the softer greens, it was just perfect for the 54. Again, it was an absolute perfect lie. It wasn't the most difficult chip, but obviously in the circumstances, it's still a bonus that I went in.
Do you think anybody's awake watching in County Waterford?
I would say there's a few. I haven't got to my phone yet, but I would imagine there's a few. I would say there's quite a few pints being still drank there.
Who gets the first call back there?
I mean, definitely my dad. I'm sure he's still up. I know he probably won't sleep for a week after it. But yeah, I mean, whenever I get out here, I'll give him a shout. I'm sure he's already sent me some messages. But I mean, there's the list of people that call is just incredibly long. I mean, anyone. You guys have been around enough golfers. There's so many people that it takes to get to this point. It doesn't happen by accident. You've sponsors and you've coaches and you've helpers and you've family and you've friends and all that kind of stuff. It all matters. And so I'm going to have a long list of phone calls here to make.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Andrew Chernoff from WLKY.
Congratulations. You've heard the talk the last couple of weeks, and we know the last couple of months. It feels like there's so many playoffs on the PGA Tour, and it's not just one or two holes, but multiple holes. Can you explain how competitive this tour is right now?
Yeah, I mean it's incredible. My caddy and I talk about it all the time. I mean, my last 3-4 weeks, it's unbelievable. You know, you could finish 15th and be 3 shots out of a playoff, and it's just there's so many guys playing good golf. I mean, the standard of golf right now, I mean, I don't know enough about golf to compare eras, but it just seems like there's so many good players and so many, players that are playing well under pressure. I mean, Colin Morikawa today is an unbelievable example. I mean, he's 24, is he? Is he 24? And I mean, I watched him for 16 holes, and it looked like he was out playing with his buddies on a Saturday. To be honest, it was remarkable. You seem to have more guys capable of doing that. Whether it's, for me, it was a Tiger Woods influence. He's the guy that you kind of saw do this in these situations, and I guess a lot of people grew up watching him, and that's the kind of stuff you're trying to copy there under pressure. But it is amazing. I mean, just as you said, a couple of shots here and there. I haven't even seen the final leaderboard, but there's probably guys 3 shots out and they're struggling to finish in the top 10. It's just amazing. But yeah, I mean, that's why everything matters right from the get-go on Thursday morning. You got to get into tournaments. You can't let the tournament come to you, it seems like, anymore, and you got to stay aggressive, and I was kind of lucky enough to be able to do that.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay, let's go back to Adam Shupak from Golf Week.
Seamus, you have such a positive, seem to have a very positive outlook, but how do you maintain that as you don't have the successes that you thought you might?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's all perspective. I mean, I view myself as being extremely lucky. I mean, I'm 34 and I've yet to work a day in my life, and so every time I get to play a tournament or an extra year on tour, to me, it's a massive bonus. It's, I love playing golf. It's my favorite thing to do. So for me, just being able to, I mean, obviously not the success, but I mean, just, this is my 5th year on PGA Tour. You do have some level of success, and just to be able to enjoy that as best I can. You look around the world, and like we have it better than. I mean, we're very fortunate. We're very, very fortunate, and I think if you can just keep that in perspective, and it's easy sometimes to get into comparing mode, comparing yourself to other guys who've won tournaments and this and that, and you just got to be happy for people that put in the work and it's paid off. And thankfully this week it was me. But yeah, I mean, even if I didn't win, my attitude would still, I at least would try to be very much on the positive side. It's still golf. I mean, they're still. I still get a check for playing golf, and I don't have to work in an office from 9 to 5. So I mean, I'm very, very lucky.
As you had this hot streak, did you feel like you were on the verge of victory?
I did, yes. I mean, my game has actually been very good since about February or March time. I had a struggle in the fall, didn't get into many tournaments in my category. I had to get elbow surgery in November, so it was all a bit of a struggle. And then, January I wasn't able to really practice properly. So it was only February, March time where I knew my game was really in the best spot it's probably been in my life. And then it was just a matter of staying patient, try to get in some tournaments. I played in a Corn Ferry event in Las Vegas in March, which was kind of my first time being in contention for a while. And I only finished, I think, tied for 9th, but it gave me the confidence that I played pretty well under pressure. And then from there, I was able to Monday qualify a couple of times, get in a couple of good spots. I was in a good spot in Dallas. I mean, I think I was second, maybe with 9 holes to go. And I didn't handle the rain particularly well in the back 9, dropped a couple of shots, but I felt like I learned a lot, and I was able to put myself in a couple more good situations, and gradually just trying to learn how I react under this situation, how my caddy and I reacted under this situation, and then today I was able to pick up 2 in the last 3, even after 3-putting the par 5, which is obviously a frustrating moment, but I was able to just settle myself enough that I was able to hit some good shots coming in, and just get one on the last and sneak into the playoff.
Enjoy the moment, Seamus. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go to Jared.
I'm Brian Killis here.
Hey, Seamus. You mentioned playing on the Corn Ferry Tour. Can you talk about the level of competition out there and how thin the wall is between Corn Ferry and PGA Tour?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's been a couple of years since I played out there regularly, but I mean, the standard is fantastic. I always, when people ask me this like back home and stuff, and I always say like the top guys in the PGA Tour are, they're a step above. The guys that are winning and doing all the winning majors, they're a step above. But there's a lot of guys that you could swap in and out, and there wouldn't be any drop off. I mean, the standard is that high, in my opinion at least. The courses are a little different and that sort of stuff, and experience, maybe there's more experienced guys out here, but the standard is fantastic. I mean, like I've played, I'm not sure, 2 or 3 Corn Ferry events this season and a couple last season, and yeah, I mean the standard's fantastic. I mean you see guys, Will Zalatoris, and I'll mispronounce his name, but the guy who just graduated from the Corn Ferry with 3 wins, and he's already competing. And I mean, obviously seen with Will, and just guys one after another. It's just they come off there, and the tour prepares guys as well as any tour could. I mean, you play a very similar schedule, you play a lot of the same guys, and yeah, I mean, yeah, the standard is incredible.
Okay, Brian, we are glad you were able to join us. The floor is yours.
Well done, Seamus.
Hi, Brian.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Interesting viewing. I'm sure the nerves were pretty bad in West Waterford watching that, but that was a fantastic victory. Just wondering, you spoke to me maybe a week or so ago about Bob Rotella and how important that was for you. Was that important for you today, getting over the line there?
Yeah, absolutely huge. I mean, as I said, I mean, I've picked up so many things from some guys like Doc like that. It was just, even in the playoff, you're just trying to remember what he told you and just trying to keep it as simple as possible. And yeah, I mean, it's massive. There's no way he got me just back on the correct path, and that's kind of a lot of things have led me to this point. But that was a huge kind of help, and like in the coming down the stretch in tournaments and in those pressure situations, it's absolutely huge. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you. Obviously, you've had a very interesting journey to get where you are today with the E-Golf Tour and the Corn Ferry Tour. Were there any moments, even more recently, where you felt that it was going to be beyond you, that you weren't going to be able to achieve what you've achieved today, or did you always have the belief?
But I've been asked that. Like my thought process always with golf is that if at any point I didn't think I was good enough to win or compete at the highest level, I would have stopped playing. I would have done something else. It's like, I think if you don't have that way deep down, and it's one of those spots that you can say whatever you want, but it's only you going to know these things when you look in the mirror. And I never lost that, and I felt like I've always been able to win at every level I've been on, and obviously not yet on the PGA Tour. So I felt like I could, and that belief definitely never left me. And as I said, hopefully or thankfully, I was able to kind of come through today.
So what does it mean for you now? Obviously, you're exempt until the end of 2023, and you're into all those big events that they mentioned, the Players, and your first major as well. How does it feel to be able to plan a season like that and play those events?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, the last, what is this? This is 2021, so 2020, 2021, I was in, the not fully exempt category, and it's tough. It's frustrating. You want to play more. You're looking at guys playing in tournaments, passing. You're looking at your FedEx number dropping and dropping and dropping. But I knew that was part of it, and so it's going to be nice. I'm going to be able to make my schedule. A lot of the other stuff hasn't sunk in yet, to be honest. As someone just mentions stuff to me on the 18 green, I didn't even know that it guarantees me a spot in the Players and all this kind of great stuff. So I mean, it's just fantastic. I mean, for now, I'm just over the moon with the win, and kind of the next couple of days maybe I'll, well, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe Tuesday I'll kind of start to figure some of this stuff out.
Just finally for me, I don't want to monopolise this, but just you mentioned obviously your caddy Simon there on the 18th green. It was very difficult to thank all the people that you wanted to thank, but now that you've had a couple of moments maybe to catch your breath, are there people that you remember from your past and growing up at West Waterford Golf Club that played their role in you getting to where you are today, you think?
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. I mean without West Waterford Golf Club I definitely wouldn't be here. I mean I started down there when I was 12, 13 years old, and all the Spratt family, I mean it was pretty much like my second family. I mean they were incredible. They helped me through all sorts of stuff, and it's just incredible. I mean I'll be so happy to see them. I haven't been home for a while, so I mean I can't wait to talk to them and see them, all the Spratts and all the members at West Waterford, and obviously my own family, and I've nephews and a niece now, and I mean just the whole thing, just everything comes to this point. I mean, anyone who's got older brothers knows that that's a massive motivating thing right from this. When you can walk, you're trying to walk like them, and you're kind of trying to play like them. So, I mean, just everything. I mean, right from the start, family, friends, West Waterford, I mean, all the Munster GUI coaching, the national GUI coaching. I mean, you don't get here without, I mean, everyone along the way kind of making a difference and helping you. So, I mean, again, I can't wait to kind of see them all and thank them all. And hopefully they were able to stay up and enjoy it.
Thanks, Seamus. Well played.
Thanks, Brian.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, well, Seamus Power, congratulations, a PGA Tour winner here at the Barbasol Championship.